So I guess I
Hello,
will just.
everyone. Hello, everyone. We are live already. Thank you for joining us right now during our Facebook Live session. So, even if you are not here online with us right now, you can still watch this video later and leave your questions in the comment section below. Okay, so if you are a Moldovan mid-career professional looking for a dynamic professional development opportunity in the United States, then you definitely need to consider to apply for the 2024-2025 Humphrey Fellowship Program. I'm Alexander Vireu, America House Events Manager, and today we have with us Brian Asmus. Brian will tell us more about the programs that American Embassy have here in Moldova. So, Brian, thank you very much for finding time for us, and the floor is yours.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Sasha, and always great work from you and your team at America House. So if people listening to this haven't been to America House, they need to go over there because there's so much more than just exchanges. I'm only talking about Humphrey today, and actually I'll be giving that to my colleague, Irina Collin, who knows all the specific details. But I think I want to talk about why we are supporting exchanges. And to me, this is one of the most powerful tools. The best benefits of working at the embassy and cultural affairs is that we get to offer these life-changing opportunities to people. Anyone who has traveled and studied in another country, I think that experience stays with them through their whole life. The friends they make there, the contacts they make there, the new way of thinking that they're exposed to. And so I'm a huge proponent of people studying or living abroad because I think it enriches their life permanently. For the rest of their life, they have this great experience. So why we specifically do this at the embassy, we have 6,000 alumni of U.S. exchange programs now. And I think these people have been absolutely crucial in helping transform Moldova into a more democratic, prosperous, and secure country and society. When you have these educational opportunities, this is a skill that not only benefits the person going, but it also benefits any company or organization they work for. And it also builds a network for them. So if maybe I have a question about something, it's been 3 years, but I still have these people I can reach out to and say, here's something that I'm having trouble with, or here's something I would like to change. What have you done in your organization, or what have you heard has been working well in this particular situation? And I mention this because for the Humphrey program in particular, this kind of ability to be very independent, to be very proactive, to be very much a take charge person is what we're looking for this particular exchange. So I encourage everybody with that skill set, if you're dynamic, outgoing, somebody who's going to make your own way in life, you're going to set your own goals, you know what you're doing, then we want to see you in Humphrey.
Thank you very much, Brian. I really hope that people will get inspired by your speech. And, well, even I am inspired. So I think people will do the same thing as well. So, Brian, thank you very much for finding time for us. And right now, I will give a moment for Irina to join us. Irina Kulin is a cultural affairs specialist at the U.S. Embassy of Moldova. And she will tell us more in details how can you apply to the Humphrey program, and feel free to leave your questions in the comment section below. If you're watching this Facebook Live later or on YouTube, you can leave your questions still in the comment section below, and we will get back to this in written form. Irina, thank you very much for finding time for our audience as well, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Sasha, for offering us this possibility to speak about Humphrey Fellowship Program. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for your interest in the program. Today, we will speak about only one of many exchanges that U.S. government offers to Moldovans. And this program that we will be talking today is Humphrey Fellowship. You just heard from Brian why we do it. Once again, to help Moldova to become democratic, prosperous, and secure Moldova, and to promote mutual understanding. The goal of the program is to promote mutual understanding. And this program offers participants a chance to experience life in the US, because people will live, those who will participate will live in the United States for 10 months. So they will experience life in the United States. They will learn about US and US culture. Living with Americans at a US university will provide a lot of opportunities to learn about the US and to learn about different aspects of culture and also about diversity of this country. But the program also offers opportunities to learn, to improve English, as well as one of the chances that that the program offers is to speak about Moldova, to promote Moldova. You will see that those who will travel to the United States, not many Americans know about Moldova, and our exchanges do give opportunities to speak about Moldova, about our people, about our culture, because Humphrey Fellowship is a two-way exchange program. And speaking about Moldova is also part of the program. And of course, participants participating in the program, they develop professionally and personally, and they meet a lot of different colleagues from the United States as well as from other countries, because every US university has a lot of international students, and being at a university for 10 months gives a lot of opportunities to meet people from different countries, like fellows of the Fulbright program from other countries, as well as other students who just paid their way to go to the United States and to study at the US university. And now probably you're already interested in what the program offers. Yes, the program has two components, and one is non-degree academic study. I'd like to note specifically that Humphrey Fellowship Program is a non-degree program. Participants go to a US university. They spend a year at US campus. They attend classes. They have different activities, but they don't get a diploma of US university. This is non-degree. Yes, participants do get the certificate of participation in the program, but this is not US university degree. And this component of the program includes attending or auditing classes. This is very good opportunity, because as a non-degree program, there are not as many tight requirements, but it offers a lot of flexibility to audit classes, to participate in different activities at the university, and at the same time having this flexibility to focus on your specific research. And this component includes weekly Humphrey seminars. They are called Humphrey seminars. These are weekly meetings of Humphrey Fellows who are at the same university. It's usually a group about 15 people from different countries. They attend Humphrey seminars as well as other different academic activities. And each participant also attends audits classes at the university, chosen classes, as well as participate in activities specifically created by the program for the group at this university. The other component is leadership and professional development. And that part is very interesting in terms that it offers opportunities for participants to learn more about US work environment. One of the parts of this component, leadership and professional development, is having internship at a US organization in the field that the applicant is from. Let's say, for example, a person who works here in health field will be going to a university to do research, but for a professional development part, the person will have internship at an institution that is linked to health issues. It could be an NGO, it could be a hospital, it could be any other institution in this field. So professional development component also include, and that part is for 6 weeks. Professional development component also includes activities like attending different workshops, seminars, visits to different institutions outside of university, and also includes traveling. One of these components is traveling to Washington, D.C. for a global forum. This is a gathering of all Humphrey Fellows during that year in Washington, D.C. for a forum where they meet each other, they meet many other people invited to the forum, they discuss different trends of development trends and so on. So these are a few days only forum, but a good opportunity to network with different professionals in different fields. These are two different components of the program. And probably you would like to learn what fields are eligible for the program. Here in the screen, you see 4 different themes, and under each of them, you will have several different, already more specific topics. And I can say even all these specific topics can be divided in more narrow topics. And you can learn more about each of these fields on our webpage. You can go and, as well as on the page of the Fulbright of Humphrey program, you can go there and see more details about the topics. If you will look here, we have economic development, finance, banking, technology policy, communications, law, natural resources, agricultural, urban development, planning, public health management, educational administration. I just named a few of them, but there are much more in more narrow topics. I would say that probably anyone who works for public service, in public service, can find a theme that will meet his needs and will be eligible for the Fellowship of Humphrey program. I will not stop on this because there is a lot of information and there are many fields, so we cannot talk about each of them, but you can just look through and see. But let's see who is eligible. There are general qualifications for this program, and then there are specific eligibility requirements. I will speak about general qualifications, and again, I will address you to visit our website with information where we have more detailed information about the program, about different aspects of the program, including qualifications. But general qualifications are citizenship of Moldova, because as Brian mentioned, this is a US government program, is fully funded by US government, and we see it as investment of US government into Moldova through participants. That's why the requirement is, one of the requirements is citizenship of Moldova. There is an exception for residents who permanently live in the Transnistrian region of Moldova. They can apply having different citizenship. Another requirement that is a must, the candidate should have undergraduate degree already completed. In our terms, in Moldovan terms, this should be licența, as we call it, licența. In American terms, it would be undergraduate degree. Also, one of the requirements will be 5 years of full-time professional experience, preferably in the field that you are applying for. And these 5 years should be already completed 5 years. Better if it is progressive experience in this field, because you have to demonstrate your leadership qualities. And the next specific requirement would be leadership qualities. So through your work and your achievements, you should demonstrate leadership qualities. Because again, we are coming back, this is US government funded program, and we would like person to come back and through his or her activities to implement ideas and knowledge here in Moldova for the benefit of Moldova. And it's much easier to do it when the person has leadership qualities and can do it through his daily or her daily activities. And yeah, I already mentioned one of others required qualifications is a record of public service in the community. Probably some of you may have a question, if I'm in a business, can I apply? Yes, you are still eligible if you have public service activities and you have records of these public service activities in the community. It could be like main job, but also something else that you are doing for the community. Public service is important component of the eligibility requirements. And of course, the program is for those who speak good English. Good, we have two steps in determining what is mean good English. What does it mean is first step, we will hear person talking at the interview, and then those who will pass the step, this step of selection interview, they will be asked to take TOEFL exam, and the TOEFL will be the final step to evaluate the skills of English, both written and oral, and all the required for TOEFL, for taking TOEFL. There are some other eligibility requirements, and again, I will address you to visit our website, and you will see more details about eligibility requirements, as well as there is a paragraph about ineligibility requirements, because there are ineligibility aspects that will not allow you to participate, like being in the United States during last 5 years, specific term, like 6 months or something. So there are other ineligibility terms as well. So go to our website and look at this more detailed and more specific eligibility and ineligibility requirements. Another aspects that I would like to draw your attention is the timeline. As you see from this slide, we are now in April 2023. We have announced this program in April 23. The deadline for the program is June 1st of this year, 2023. So you have 1 week more in April and the whole month of May to work on your application, to apply online before June 1st. June 1st doesn't mean that you have to apply on this date. It is before this day. And we recommend you don't leave your application for the last week. Start working now so you can you have enough time to think well about your application, to check carefully, and then apply before June 1st. What happens next? Next, there is a selection review panel that is formed here at the embassy. And the review panel will read your applications and will select those who qualified and those who demonstrated in the applications that they meet the requirements and that there is a need for them to take this program exactly at this time in their career. Those who will be selected at this stage, at the stage of application review, will be invited for the interview. Interview will be held by the selection committee here at the embassy, and we plan it will happen somewhere probably in late June or July. Those who will pass the step of interviews will be asked to take TOEFL test. Here I would like to mention that those who already have TOEFL test, it should be valid until the October 1st, until I think October 1st, 23. And those who will be taking TOEFL at the request of the program, will be provided vouchers. Vouchers meaning that the program already paid the test and you will register under this voucher. It will be for you free of charge, but in this case, it is paid by the program and you will take TOEFL test. The TOEFL test should be taken somewhere in August and September, before October 1st. And then after that step, for a few months, we will not hear anything. It doesn't mean that no one works on the program. As that step, several months, will be when our colleagues, program colleagues in Washington, D.C. are working with your application. Again, they are reviewing application. They are on behalf of candidates. They send these applications to universities. Those 13 universities who are that are selected by the program to host Humphrey Fellows. And also there is the final approval step. Fulbright Foreign Scholar Board is taking the final decision on each applicant. And notification stage happens in April 2024. Right now, last week, we received information that our candidate from 2022 was approved for the program, and we notified the candidate in April 23. Those who will be applying now, we will hear about final decisions in April 2024. Sometimes it could be May, but usually it's April 24. A year from the moment of application, we hear and the candidate becomes participant about a year from now. But it's not yet traveling to the United States. After notification, a different logistical procedures start. We work with the candidate, with participant, with candidate on logistical stuff, visa, tickets, medical certificate, proof of financial situation if dependents are joining participants, and so on. So there are several logistical steps that are happening May, June, and then somewhere in July, we do pre-departure orientation. We inform the participant about different details of the program. This is called pre-departure orientation. And then the participant leaves to the United States in August 2024. As you see, the timeline from the moment of application, April 2023, until the departure is more than a year, and then the person returns home after the program in June 2025. So application goes in April 23 and the program ends in June 25. This is the timeline of the program, and sometimes we get questions that people don't understand. They think they apply now in April, they leave in August, and they return next June. No, it's a little bit longer, and it takes more than a year to apply, to get accepted, and then to leave to the United States, and then the program itself takes 10 months. So what else we would like to tell you? Probably you are interested, who pays for everything? Yes, at the beginning, Brian mentioned that it is a program that is funded by US government. What does it mean? It means that it is funded by US people. US people do pay taxes, and US government has this possibility to offer opportunities to foreign citizens to study or to do research in the United States. In this case, to offer to Moldovans scholarships to participate in Humphrey program. And the program covers everything, starting with tuition and fees at US university, living stipend, then accident and sickness coverage, as I already mentioned, TOEFL test fees, visa fees. Also, the program buys a round-trip ticket to the university, from Moldova to the university and back at the end of the program from the university to Moldova. And also offers different professional development allowances that is included in the grant. Once again, for the participant, the program is free. But as we all know, there is nothing free in this world, and Humphrey Fellowship Program is fully funded by US people. So it is free for participants, but not in general. So it is fully funded by US people. I repeat this several times just because it's very important to understand who funds the program. Okay, and now those who already got very interested would like to learn and what does it means to apply. Of course, nowadays all applications are online, and you go to our website and there is a link to the application. Application is online. It's active now. You can already start preparing your applications. You go online, you complete the data. Of course, as any application, the first part will be personal data. You put there your address, your date of birth, your education, your experience, and so on. Important part of the application is the part where it asks about your goals and program plan. In form of essay, it's not long essay, it's short essay, but you explain what you plan to do in the United States as part of this program, what kind of research you would like to do, what kind of outcome you expect at the end of the program. So this part where you put your goals and program plan, you should pay more attention because it's an important part of application. When selection committee, when review committee will read your application, they would like to learn and to have a very clear, to learn from you and to have very clear idea what plans you have for the program. What do you plan to do in the United States when you go to university, and what at the end you would like to implement here in Moldova from what you learn in the United States. Also, you have to upload into application your transcripts, and transcripts, this in our terms would be a certificate academic. This is a document from the university that includes what you studied, how many hours you studied, and what was the grade for that subject. In nowadays, I think all our universities issue diplomas that have an attachment, a supplement, and that supplement can serve as a transcript. Those who graduated earlier and the diploma did not include a supplement in the form as it is now, then you will need to ask your university for academic certificate. This is from archives of the university, you can get it. So transcript, and it should be in English. You can upload the original as well as English translation. The application also would ask you for 2 recommendation letters, and one of the recommendation letters should come from your current employer, and another one will come from somebody else. It could be a colleague, or if you do some voluntary activities or you participate in NGO activities, you can ask some of those colleagues to write a second recommendation letter. And then the application offers you opportunity to also attach different other supporting documents. It depends on each applicant. If you have something else to attach, to upload into application, when you will be completing the application, you will see these opportunities and you will understand if something else is required from you. So this is the application. up to this point, I think this is general information about the program, and probably you have many other smaller questions about smaller aspects of the program, and I'm also ready to talk to it. One of the questions will be who chooses the university, or at what university the participant gets this program to conduct the research and study. For the Humphrey program, the university is selected by the program. It works the following way. The program selects several universities. This year, it is 13 universities that will host fellows of Humphrey program, and they will host groups of fellows in specific fields. There will be, let's say, 15 participants in agricultural field. All of them from different countries will go to one university. Those who will be in the field of IT technology, they will go to a different university, and there will be a group of participants, Humphrey Fellow, from different countries who will be at that university. So all universities will have designated field, and groups of fellows at specific university will focus on one specific topic. So that is why it's not the participant who chooses the university, but the program will send to the university that is ready to accept a group of Humphrey Fellow in the specific field. A few questions or a few comments about recommendation letters. As I mentioned, there will be 2 recommendation letters. One has to be from the employer. It's not by choice. It must be from an employer. And the second, we recommend you to think whom you will ask for a letter, because it's an important part of application, and the review committee is really reading the application, the full application, including the recommendation letter. And we would like to learn more about the candidates, and recommendation letter is one of pieces of application where we can learn something about the applicant. Think who from your colleagues can comment on your achievements, can comment on your qualifications, can comment on your research or field of involvement here at your work, in addition to your employer. Who else can write about you in a professional, about your professional life in terms of achievements and qualifications? Think who can add something in the letter that is not already in your application. And never ask a recommender to ask a letter like last minute, last day. Give recommenders some time to write letters, to think about, to write them and to submit. So you will see in the system how it works, that the application will ask your email of the person, and you can upload or you can send directly from the system. Follow just instructions from the application. Earlier I mentioned that the length of the program is 10 months. Out of these 10 months, six weeks are internship in a work environment. It's like a full-time job. It could be paid or unpaid, but this is a special part of professional development, 6 weeks at an organization in your field. And the participant is responsible to find that institution or organization. At each university, there is a program coordinator that helps participants or fellows, Humphrey Fellows, to work on their plan that they develop at the very beginning, that they help them to find the institution, organization where they will do this internship. But again, this is the responsibility of the participants. And that's why sometimes you will see that the program is 9 months length, sometimes 10 months. In total is 10 months because main part is 9 months or 8.5, and then there is 6 weeks of this professional development internship at an institution. The total is 10 months. Length of the program is 10 months. A few comments about interview. Sometimes we get questions, what I will be asked at the interview. Be prepared to speak about your achievements here at your work in Moldova, also about your plan, what you plan to do in the United States as part of the program, as well as to be knowledgeable about your field. But when you prepare yourself for interview, think about information that it is not already part of essay or as a part of the application. Interview, this is a great opportunity for you to tell about yourself something in addition what already you put in the application, because the interview panel, all of them will read your application. They will have all the information that is in application. And to repeat during interviews the same information doesn't add any value to you. Think about, because you know what you put in your application, think what you can add at the interview answering those questions, because questions may sound differently, but mainly the idea is to learn about you, what you want to do in the United States. Are you prepared to do this plan? Is it feasible, this plan? What you will do after return with those outcomes that you will get during your study, research in the internship in the United States. So think about these aspects and be ready. One also advice is try to rehearse the interview, put your colleague or friend or spouse to ask you questions and answer those questions. You may think that you are ready to answer about your achievements, but then at the interview, there is a little bit of nervous, and then there is a little bit of time limits, and you are not really ready to put very concise, clear answers. Try to rehearse with your friends or colleagues or family. And also you see here in red, do not plagiarize. It's very important. All of the applications go through the plagiarism system, and unfortunately, we have found people who do plagiarize. In this case, we will throw the candidate immediately. So that's why do not plagiarize. If you write your essay, your plan, just think well, work on it today, then sleep on it, as we tell, then work on it tomorrow, postpone for 1 week, return to it, work well, but put your own ideas. Do not plagiarize. Do not take something from internet, from Google, and then put in your essay, and this is your plan. This will not work. And you may lose your opportunity just because you didn't spend time on working on those very short essays that the application is asking. So there are a few more points that I would like to mention. Once again, this is a competition. The program selects the best of the best. We like this phrase, but for candidates, it's important to understand it is a competition. And you can imagine this is a very expensive program. Many people apply, but this is a real chance. And there are people who have participated in the program, and maybe some of you already know those people who participated in the program. But the competition, they were selected because at that point they were the best candidates who applied that years. I would like to encourage those who already applied and didn't get, apply again. So from my experience, I know the person who applied 5 years in a row, and in 5th year, he did get into the program. It means that if you are not selected, it doesn't mean that you are not good. You may be very good, but at the same time, there is somebody who is a little bit better at that specific pool of applicants that specific year. That's why applying second or third time, it's not a disadvantage, it's not a minus when the selection committee evaluates applicants. And plus, going through the selection process, writing the application, going through interview, all of this gives you more experience, and next every following time you are becoming better. So don't be discouraged if you are not selected. Again, many people apply. We cannot offer to everyone, and there are people who are not selected. Yes, I have to be frank, there are people who are not as strong, but there are very strong people, very strong candidates, and we cannot select everyone. And our hearts become very sad that we cannot select all good candidates that apply because we have limited funding for the program. But it means that if you are strong, you can apply next year and you can get into it. I would repeat once again, this is non-degree program. Yes, the program is at a US university, but it has, as I mentioned, two components. One is academic and one is professional. You can audit classes. You have professional Humphrey seminars, weekly seminars that are in academic in its nature, and also professional part of the program. But at the end, you don't get a university degree. You do get a certificate of participation. Those who would like to get a diploma of master degree or something, they have to apply to different programs. And we do have Fulbright foreign student program that offers master degree. You can apply for those programs. And it is it open? No, deadline was, it's open. It's until May 15, yes. It's still open for those as well. But Humphrey Fellowship is non-degree program. Once again, I would like to say that it is an independent program. It is self-organized program. There is a group there will be a group at a US university, but each participant will have its own plan of development. He or she will attend seminars or other academic activities together with other participants, but at the same time, his plans that he or she created at the beginning of fellowship for the 10 months period, that plan is individual, and each participant works on his or her own plan. It's great program in terms that it's individualized, that person can pursue his or her own plan. At the same time, being at US university environment, being part of the group that will go and will have different activities together in the specific field, but the narrow topics that the person is pursuing, it's his individual self-organized program. It's a good plus for this program. In terms of other parts of program, not professional one, like arranging housing, doing everyday arrangements like food and all that stuff, it's not organized by the program. Everything is individual. Person looks for an apartment, person makes a contract for internet connection, and so on. So again, this part is also individual in terms that no one does this for the participant. The university coordinator is helping in professional part, may provide information about housing, but the candidate or the participant should be ready to do it by himself or herself. So one of the questions we are getting is about stipend. We do not announce the numbers, specific numbers, but I would say that the stipend, as we mentioned at the beginning, each participant get a living stipend, and it's good stipend to live in the United States at a US university. You will not live as millionaire, of course, but it's enough to have a decent life at the US university for 10 months. It is paid in monthly. First one has additional supplement because at the beginning, the participants will receive settling in allowance, professional allowance, something else, in addition to monthly stipend. And then every month, the person will receive monthly stipend from the program to pay housing, because each participant will get stipend and will pay housing separately. That's why looking for housing, it's individual task in terms like somebody will want to live in a nice apartment and pay more from the stipend, and somebody will want to share a room and with somebody else and pay less so he can travel more or something else. So the stipend is individual. Question about dependents. You can see on the information on our website that dependents are allowed. The program does allow participant to have dependents join him or her in the program. And dependents, these are spouses and children under 18. But the important point here is the program does not fund dependents. We do help with visa for dependents, but the program does not fund anything. That is why when we were talking about additional documents, those who will be selected and will want to have family accompany them, they will be asked to provide proof of financial sustainability in terms of financial status, that the participant can support his or her dependents in the United States, because the scholarship is calculated for one person. And if you want dependents to come, you have to prove you have sufficient funds for supporting your dependents. Once again, about previous US experience, I would like to mention, if you will go to our website to see ineligibility requirements, you will see there how previous US experience influences on eligibility or ineligibility. It is very clear who is not eligible because of previous US experience. Please go there and read, because yes, there are categories that have that become ineligible because of previous US experience. We are not talking if you traveled for a week of vacation or a week of conference. This will not influence your eligibility. But if you already studied in the United States or you spent 6 months during the last few years, so this will influence your eligibility, meaning you will not be eligible. And also when you will be reading information about the program, you may see the abbreviation IIE. It comes from Institute of International Education. This is U.S. government partner who is administering Humphrey program in addition to other programs for U.S. government in the United States. Here in Moldova, Humphrey program is administered by the embassy, and in the United States, the program is administered by IIE, Institute of International Education. So this is main information about the program. And you can see on our next slide that more information, more details about the program you will find on our embassy website, MD US Embassy Go. And if you will go there, you will see their culture and education. You go there, you go to local programs. Under local programs, you go to Humphrey program or currently open for application, and you will get to the point where there is a lot of different information about the program, as well as section about Q&A. There are questions that usually we receive, and you will see answers for those questions. And we encourage you, if you will not find the answer on the information or in Q&A session, then write to us on the email you have here, Education Moldova State Gov, and we will be happy to answer. But please, sometimes we get questions that are very directly answered in our information or in our Q&A section, and people don't read it, but immediately send us question. I'm not discouraging you as sending us questions, but please read the question, read all the information there, and then ask us any other questions. And when we see that some questions are repeating, we add them to Q&A sections. So it helps us. If you send us questions, it helps us to make the information even more complete. I think this is all that I wanted to say from my point. If you have any questions, please, you are welcome to ask, and we will be happy to answer.
Thank you, Irina, very much for this information. I think everything was clear, but we had some questions. Some of them you already kind of answered, but before we will go to them, I will ask you to specify about the recommendation letter. So let's imagine the situation that the candidate that is trying to apply, they are speaking English, but their employer doesn't. Is it a problem if employer will write it in Romanian or in Russian?
The employer, if the employer doesn't speak English, can write only in Romanian or Russian, but then somebody or employer trusts somebody, translates into English, or if employer trusts the candidate, they will translate it into English, and into the system will go both English and or original in Russian, Romanian, and the translation. The translation should not exactly be official translation done through the notary office. No, it could be unofficial translation, but it could be translated into English. And it's not a good idea to ask employer who does not speak English to write a letter in English, because sometimes we do talk to employers and we see that the letter is in English, but employer doesn't speak English. It means who wrote the letter.
Yeah. Well, I hope that it will not be a problem for our candidates. Okay, so let's go to the questions that we collected. So Olga Barbu is asked us, I applied last time but didn't get through. What can elevate my application this time? And does the fact that I haven't been accepted from the first time will have an impact this time?
And let's start with, if you applied, it doesn't mean you cannot apply now. No, applying before, it's not a disadvantage. It's not an advantage as well. So it's very neutral. If you applied and you were not selected, again, I will repeat myself, somebody that year was a little bit more prepared or had a better application. It's from this question is not clear what exactly you were, at what exactly stage you were not selected. If it is at the very beginning, your application didn't go through even to interview step, then it means that in the application there was something wrong. If you are eligible, first check all the eligibility requirement, and then go to ineligibility requirement, check if you are not in that list to be ineligible. So if you meet both criteria from both lists, eligibility and non-eligibility, meet non-eligibility. If you see that you are eligible and you are not in that list of ineligibility, then probably your suggested plan for research was not very clear, or you suggested something that is not feasible, and probably review panel was looking, okay, the person wants to do this, and then if the person says, research a topic and then come here, open a center, it could be questionable in terms, if there are no answers, do you have funding for the center? Do you have something else, support, and so on? So the plan itself should have a clear idea what you want to do there and what do you expect to get from that experience and how to apply here in Moldova. This is in terms like at what stage you were not selected, and it does not influence anyhow for the application this time. And we encourage you to apply.
As you said, there was a person who was trying to apply for 5 times, so if that person got through, then Olga, you definitely have a chance as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe English was not as good. If you got through the steps until TOEFL test, maybe your TOEFL was not good. Just prepare yourself.
Okay. Next one, I think I know the answer already, but we still are going to answer this one. Eugeniu Botnar is asking, if I have 4.5 years of experience, can I apply? I think he means working experience.
Working experience, yeah. Unfortunately, no, the program specifically asks at least 5 years, because this is for mid-career professionals. And probably if the person has no 5 years of professional experience, probably not yet at mid-career. So 5 years, it's a must, yes.
And let's go to the last question. Tamara is asking, I've read somewhere that there are other programs only for alumni. Can you tell more about this?
For alumni, yes, you are right. There are programs for alumni. When you ask other programs, I assume you're asking not traveling to the United States. There are different programs for alumni, and my colleague Anastasia, who is alumni coordinator, she is managing different programs. I would advise Tamara, write to our education email that we have, Education Moldova State Gov email, introduce yourself. And if you're alumni, Anastasia will answer about our programs. Sometimes we have programs specifically for alumni also to travel to the United States. Last year, we had TICE program, and Natalia, I forgot her name, Slipuhina, has traveled to the United States. That program was specifically for alumni. And when we have these programs for alumni, we do announce them for alumni. We have different programs for grants for alumni that are announced from Washington, D.C., and here we re-announce, but they may be specific for alumni for IVLP program or alumni for Fulbright program or alumni. So we announce to specific categories if the program is for specific alumni. Tamara, write to our email and you will get more information.
I will put this email once again on the screen, but just in case, for those who are watching this Facebook Live right now or later, you can just check our comment section below, and we already put all of the links there. So all the information that Irina was telling us about, you can find there as well. Irina, thank you so much for finding time for us and for our audience. I think you gave enough information for everyone. I also, before getting ready to this Facebook Live, I checked the application form. Actually, it's very clear what you have to do. As you mentioned, just read everything that is asked. And I think even like with, I don't know, it's like everything is so clear, even if you have even the basic knowledge of English, but of course it will be checked later. But yeah, just go for it.
And I would mention it's not complicated.
Yeah.
From presentation, it doesn't sound that it's not complicated, but Sasha can confirm that application is not complicated. It's very doable. It doesn't take a lot of your time. What I would specify once again, think well about your plan, what you want to do. And the rest is very easy.
Exactly.
Thank you, Sasha, for inviting and offering this opportunity. And I hope those who are listening us or will listen us later will apply. And we look forward to see your applications.
Yes, good luck with your applications. And leave your questions in the comment section below or send them directly to that email that we'll put one more time on our screen just in case. Okay, thank you very much, everyone, and goodbye. Good luck.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.